In a world obsessed with spotlight and validation, the Sigma male thrives in the shadows, not out of fear but out of mastery. Attention isn't power, it's a chain. The moment you're seen, you're bound by expectations, judgments, and the exhausting need to perform. But for the Sigma, freedom is found in being unnoticed, untethered, and unapologetically authentic. Welcome to the Sigma male community, where we don't chase the gaze of others. We command our own path, unseen and unstoppable. Here we reject society's demand for visibility and embrace the strength of self-reliance. Today we're diving into why Sigma males hate being noticed, and why that aversion fuels their quiet, unshakable power. If you're ready to break free from the chains of attention and step into the liberty of living on your terms, you've found your tribe. Let's get started. 1. Unshackled movement, the freedom of invisibility. The Sigma male doesn't dodge attention to hide. He does it to move freely. When no one's watching, there's no script to follow, no audience to appease, just pure, unfiltered autonomy. Picture a lone wolf slipping through the forest, unseen by hunters, choosing his path without interference. That's the Sigma's life. Every step deliberate, every decision his own. The world can't chain what it can't see. This isn't about cowardice, it's about strategy, observing, adapting, and acting without the drag of scrutiny. Stoicism teaches us to master what's in our control, and for the Sigma, invisibility is the ultimate control, a wide-open field where he can think, plan, and strike without warning. This liberty goes beyond the physical. It's a mental unshackling. When you're not on display, your mind isn't cluttered with the noise of others' opinions. You're not tweaking your words or actions to fit someone else's frame. Instead, you're free to chase your purpose with razor-sharp focus. The Sigma knows that being noticed invites distraction, and distraction is the enemy of progress. By staying off the radar, he preserves his energy for what matters: his goals, his growth, his truth. In a society that screams for attention, his silence is his strength, his invisibility his superpower. 2. The exhausting mask, when attention demands performance. Attention doesn't just shine a light, it hands you a role to play. The moment eyes are on you, society expects a performance. Smile here, nod there, be the version of yourself they want to see. For the Sigma, that's a suffocating mask, a betrayal of his core. He's not here to dance for applause or twist himself into someone else's idea of acceptable. Stoicism reminds us to live with integrity, to align with our nature, not to exhaust ourselves playing parts in someone else's script. The Sigma rejects that stage, choosing the raw, unpolished truth of who he is over the draining charade of visibility. Every forced laugh, every fake agreement, it's a chip at your soul. The Sigma feels that weight and says, no more. Why waste energy on a performance that doesn't serve him? He'd rather be unseen, free to scowl when he's pissed, to stay silent when he's thinking, to walk away when he's done. Authenticity isn't negotiable, and attention threatens it at every turn. By stepping out of the spotlight, he reclaims his right to be real, unshackled from the expectations that come with being noticed. That's not weakness, that's power, the power to live unapologetically on his terms. 3. The poisonous whisper network, becoming gossip fodder. Being noticed turns you into a target for the rumor mill. The Sigma's quiet strength, his refusal to play the social game, it confuses people, and what they don't understand they twist. He's too good for us, they whisper. He's hiding something. But the Sigma knows their chatter is just static, meaningless noise from minds too small to grasp his independence. Stoicism teaches us to let go of what we can't control, like the opinions of others, and focus on our own path. He's not shaken by gossip. He's just tired of its persistence, like a fly buzzing around his head. Still, that constant drip of misjudgment wears on anyone. It's not that he cares what they think, it's the sheer inefficiency of it all. Why waste time dodging their petty arrows when he can just vanish from their sight? Avoiding notice isn't about running, it's about cutting the fat from his life. The Sigma sidesteps the drama, leaving the whisperers to stew in their own confusion. His peace is worth more than their approval, and his silence shuts down their game. That's not retreat, it's a calculated move to keep his focus where it belongs, on what he's building, not what they're tearing down. 4. Preserving the inner sanctum, the sacred value of privacy. The Sigma's mind is a fortress, not a billboard. He doesn't spill his thoughts or struggles for the world to pick apart, because why would he? Vulnerability isn't a free-for-all, It's a privilege earned by those who prove they're worth it. Stoicism calls for self-mastery, and part of that is deciding who gets a glimpse inside. The Sigma guards his privacy like a treasure, not out of paranoia, but out of reverence for his own depth. In a world where everyone's shouting their lives online, his restraint is a rebellion, a refusal to cheapen what's sacred. Oversharing dilutes you, it hands strangers a piece of your soul they don't deserve. The Sigma gets that. He's not posting his wins or venting his losses because he doesn't need the crowd's validation, or their pity. His power lies in his mystery, in the layers he keeps hidden until the right moment, the right person. This isn't about walls, it's about sovereignty. By staying unnoticed, he controls his narrative, writing it for himself, not for the masses. That's the Sigma edge, a life unexposed, untamed, and entirely his own. 5. The uncomfortable glare, when observation feels like interrogation. For the Sigma, attention isn't a compliment, it's an intrusion. Being watched feels like a spotlight burning through his skin, demanding he explain himself, justify his silence, account for his choices. He's not here to perform or appease, he's here to live. Stoicism prizes tranquility, and the Sigma finds it in the shadows, away from the glare that disrupts his peace. It's not that he can't handle the heat, he just doesn't see the point. Why let someone else's curiosity dictate his rhythm when he can slip away and keep his balance intact? Imagine every move dissected, every pause questioned. It's suffocating. The Sigma thrives on freedom, not scrutiny. He pulls back not because he's weak, but because he's wise enough to know that constant observation is a trap. It pulls you out of your flow, forces you into a defensive stance when all you want is to keep moving forward. By staying unseen, he protects his space to breathe, to think, to be, without the weight of 1,000 eyes trying to pin him down. That's not avoidance. That's reclaiming his right to exist on his terms. 6. The art of untargetability, evading the social crosshairs. In a game of egos and power plays, the Sigma is a ghost, their butt_scow. Here's the continuation of the script, continuing seamlessly from where it left off, ensuring it meets the 20-minute runtime requirement with rich, descriptive language and persuasive arguments, all while maintaining the Sigma male tone and stoic undertones. Present but untouchable. He doesn't climb the social ladder or fight for the crown, so he's not a target for those who thrive on rivalry. Stoicism urges us to rise above petty conflicts, and the Sigma does just that. By staying off the grid, he's no one's prey. Manipulators, climbers, emotional leeches, they all need a visible mark to latch onto, but the Sigma gives them nothing to grip. This isn't about fear, it's about outsmarting the game. He's not dodging bullets, he's making sure they're never fired. Untargetability is a shield forged from independence. The Sigma doesn't waste his strength on pointless battles or ego-driven squabbles because he's got bigger targets. His own ambitions, his own code. Staying unnoticed lets him conserve his energy, keeping his mind sharp and his will unbreakable. He's not a pawn in someone else's chess match, he's playing his own game on his own board. The social crosshairs can't hit what they can't see, and that's exactly how he keeps his edge. Unseen, unpredictable, and untouchable. 7. Rejecting false intimacy, the burden of forced connection. Attention breeds a fake kind of closeness. People see you and suddenly they think they know you, owe you, or deserve you. A quick chat, a shared glance, and they're ready to claim your time, your loyalty, your energy. The Sigma hates that burden, that unearned familiarity that clings like damp clothes. Stoicism values genuine bonds over shallow ties, and the Sigma lives that truth. He's not here for forced connections that drain him dry. By staying out of sight, he filters out the noise, saving his depth for those who earn it, not demand it. False intimacy is a tax on your soul. The Sigma feels every ounce of that weight, every expectation to keep up the small talk, to play nice, to pretend he cares. He'd rather be a shadow than a puppet, free from the strings of obligation that come with being noticed. His circle is tight, intentional, real, not a sprawling net of half-hearted ties. Avoiding the spotlight isn't just self-preservation, it's a declaration. His time, his trust, his presence, they're his to give, not yours to take. That's the Sigma way, authentic, guarded, and fiercely his own. 8. Strategic energy conservation, avoiding the drain of petty conflicts. The spotlight doesn't just glow, it sparks drama. Ego clashes, power trips, petty arguments, they all flare up where attention lands. The Sigma sidesteps that mess by staying low-key, keeping his energy for what's worth it. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, and the Sigma masters that by choosing his fights. None of them small, none of them meaningless. He's not afraid of conflict, he's too smart to waste himself on it. Why burn out on playground games when he's got mountains to move? Every trivial spat avoided is fuel saved for the real climb. The Sigma knows his reserves are finite. Mental, emotional, physical, and he's not squandering them on people who thrive on chaos. Being unnoticed keeps him off the radar of those itching for a showdown, letting him channel his strength into his purpose. It's not retreat, it's efficiency, a calculated choice to stay sharp for the battles that matter. The attention seekers can bicker all they want. The Sigma's already miles ahead, untouched and unfazed. 9. The power of mystery, leveraging the unknown. In a world that overshares everything, the Sigma's silence is a weapon. He doesn't lay his cards out, he keeps them close, letting the unknown amplify his presence. People fear what they can't predict, respect what they can't define. Stoicism embraces the strength in restraint, and the Sigma wields it like a blade, revealing only what serves him when it serves him. Mystery isn't a mask, it's a shield and a sword, giving him leverage in a game most don't even know they're playing. Being an open book is a rookie move, transparency hands your power away. The Sigma gets that, so he stays a closed vault, dropping hints only when it's strategic. His capabilities, his plans, his limits, they're his to command, not yours to dissect. This isn't about hiding, it's about controlling the narrative, keeping the upper hand. The less they know, the more they wonder, and that wonder works in his favor. The Sigma's mystery isn't a flaw, it's his mastery, a quiet force that keeps him ahead. 10. Immunity to validation seeking, breaking the feedback loop. Visibility is a cry for approval, likes, claps, nods from the crowd. The Sigma doesn't need it. His worth isn't tied to your thumbs up, it's forged in his own fire, tested by his own measure. Stoicism tells us to root our value inside, not out there, and the Sigma lives that. He's his own judge, his own compass. He doesn't dodge attention to avoid rejection. He's just indifferent to the whole validation game. Why chase a pat on the back when he's already standing tall? Seeking notice is a trap for the weak, a loop of neediness that never ends. The Sigma broke free long ago, building a core so solid that external praise feels like background noise. He's not humble, he's self-sufficient, immune to the itch that drives others to preen. Avoiding the spotlight isn't about modesty, it's about strength, a refusal to let anyone else hold the reins to his confidence. He knows who he is, and that's enough, more than enough, to keep him moving, unshaken and unstoppable. 11. Preserving authentic choice, ownership over actions. Freedom isn't just space, it's the power to act without an audience tugging at your strings. When the Sigma moves unseen, his choices are pure, unwarped by the need to impress or the fear of critique. Stoicism calls us to act with virtue, not for applause, and the Sigma takes it further. He acts for himself, period. No one's watching, so no one's whispering in his ear, shaping his path. Every step, every shift, it's his raw, real, and untainted by the crowd's shadow. Visibility turns you into a co-writer of your own story, with every onlooker scribbling their notes. The Sigma won't have it, he's the sole author, pen in hand, no editors allowed. Staying unnoticed keeps his decisions sovereign, free from the subtle sway of expectation. It's not about secrecy, it's about ownership, a fierce grip on his life's direction. The Sigma's choices aren't for display, they're for living, and that's a freedom he'll never surrender. There you have it, the raw truth of why Sigma males hate being noticed and why that's their greatest weapon. This isn't about shrinking back, it's about standing tall in the shadows, commanding your life with steel-willed independence. At Sigma Male Community, we're not here to beg for the world's eyes, we're here to sharpen yours, to guide you toward a life of strength, purpose, and unshakable control. You're part of something bigger now, a tribe that thrives beyond the glare, and we're just getting started. So what's your next move? Look at your life. Where's attention draining you, pulling you off course? Step back, reclaim your power, and start living like the Sigma you are. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications. Don't miss a single drop of this wisdom. Share this video with a brother who needs to wake up. Drop a comment. How do you wield the power of staying unseen? Let's fuel this fire together. Until next time, stay sharp, stay free, stay Sigma.